And we have reached the thrilling conclusion of Poiman versus Jad. Again, this is CPAP bringing you another Exceed commentary. This is going to be Game 5, as I said, of Poiman64 versus Jad in the Hallowed Knights tournament, Round 3. I mean, I'm sure you guys know already. We do see the Jazz hands in the opening hand for Arakune, funnily enough. Jazz hands performs pretty well to the Mikoru Seo, which is the Rage 4 option that Vatista can throw, and does super well into the Lumen Stella, which would be quite risky. I don't foresee Vatista going for that option. Jad actually playing a bunch of zoners. I didn't realize, this is actually my first time seeing Jad, or I don't ever think I've ever interacted with Jad either. But I guess Jad is a zoner player, for those of you who care about that kind of stuff. Arakune just throwing out EX dive on offense. This is so weird. Like the beauty of Jazz hands is being able to throw it on defense and stuff it in their face later. So I'm not really a big fan of this. We did see Arakune. I mean, this is just gonna get swept, right? Oh, Mikoru Sayo'd even. Okay. Wait, why does this get Mikoru Sayo'd? What was Jad expecting? That what? I mean, I guess it gives you armor. I guess. I guess it gives you armor. What was Jad expecting? What range 3, what speed 3 option does Arakune have at range 4? Nothing? Question mark? Am I forgetting something? Did Jad think this would be like EXF piecewise? I don't know, man. Whatever. We'll move past it. EX Dive will do 4 damage to the Mikoru Seo. Will stun out the Mikoru Seo as well. Not that it really matters. Mikoru Seo would miss, being a 3-8, 252. But yeah, I mean, what I was saying earlier is that the beauty of EX Dive, right, is you play it on defense to catch out their range 4, speed 4 option, their on curve option at range 4. And then you go, ha ha ha, I outvariance you, take 6, buddy. But no, Arakune opting to do it on defense, or on offense, turn 1, spending 2 cards for it, and now, again, just the similar problems that we were seeing in the previous 2 games from Arakune, which is just poor resource management. Finally, we do see the FFG go on top, though, so at least that will be added to the overdrive area per Arakune's UA. Again, the permutation gets focused, so I mean, this is the equivalent of a sweep for focus trade, right? Except Arakune is spending 1 billion force for it. So yeah, I mean, I hate to harp on an issue, but this is 3 games in a row, right, where we're seeing Poiman go for just these really aggressive plays. As far as Arakune, as far as his Arakune is concerned, and so far they haven't really worked out for him. Although he has built up 4 gauge plus overdrive so far. Although we'd see the Vatista UA come out, so push, pull, draw effects are increased by 1. I'm assuming this is just a grasp. And yet is the grasp. Pushing Arakune to range 4, assuming. Nobody can't push to range 2, has to push to range 3 or range 4, or has to pull to range 2 due to the UA, but no. Vatista will push Arakune back to range 4. That EX dive now down as well. Arakune will be prepping here. But yeah, I guess this is the style of Arakune that Poiman likes to employ, just like this really aggressive style that then like appears to burn out by the end game. Oh, that Mikoru's that FPS wise can hit against the Mikoru Seo. I'm assuming that this was a UA Mikoru Seo, so Mikoru Seo will draw 2. Deal 2 damage to the FPS wise. FPS wise will then hit back for 6. Poiman will spend both the cards from his hand to do that. Get the permutation back into the overdrive. Has now built up 6 cards in the combined gauge and overdrive areas. So this game is looking a little bit better as far as early game resource expenditure is concerned. I mean, it's still super expensive, but Poiman has drawn a focus here. He's even drawn the F inverse, although F inverse is a pretty sketchy play here, I think. I mean, it like wins, but at what cost, you know? That's one of those plays. Anyway, back to Vatista here. And again, like I wish I could shed light on how to play Vatista, but I have no idea how to play this character at all. We're actually gonna see Poiman go for the 7-speed ultra here. Beats out the transference. So this will be a 4 power F inverse, spending 3 gauge to do so. Notably, Poiman should be paying attention to which card he wants in his overdrive. Wants the 4. I mean, has 2 3s in the overdrive already. A 4 sounds good to me. The F inverse will do 4 damage, and then afterward, Arakune can push Vatista or Polar, depending on what range Arakune wants. Arakune probably wants range 1 with the focus in hand, and yeah, we'll get pulled 1. Did not demonstrate dominance by pulling the max amount, so mistake there. Obviously, Arakune should have pulled Vatista 2 in that scenario, but I mean, you can't win them all, right? Arakune, no, don't strike with focus. Just prep, dog. No, okay. We're striking with focus because this is how aggressive we are being. Focus into focus, 2 power each. Arakune will draw a card, draws the FFG. Useless in this scenario, but maybe it's useful later for force or something. I don't know. Actually, FFG pretty decent. Can perform pretty decently into Vatista. A little bit low on the guard is the only problem. It's like would lose hearts like a Lumen Stella, that kind of thing. Arakune forced to wild swing. The Y2 dash is a decent mid speed. Unfortunately, it is the cross that Vatista is throwing out, so Arakune will take 3 damage. Vatista will run back to the corner. Back to Arakune here. You really can't initiate with this FFG. I don't think it's legal. Oh, can you initiate with the FFG? Is it legal? I guess it is legal. Wow. Okay. Lumen's still on. I guess it's legal on offense because it wins the speed tie against Lumen Stella. You can't play it on defense, obviously. I guess we never actually discussed. I don't know why we didn't think about Poiman playing this offensively, because he's been playing everything offensively. But yeah, I mean, this FFG is kind of legal on offense. It just loses to dive, really. Like, it loses hard to dive, which is, I guess, a problem given the fact that, I mean, we look at the discard. We see EX Y2 dash and EX dive down for Arakune. If Vatista initiates a dive there, like, that is so bad. And it is well within, like, Vatista would be well within her rights to initiate a dive there, seeing both of those EX options down for Arakune. So actually pretty fortunate overall that that FFG didn't get popped. That would have been a game-losing venture if that FFG got popped. With the hit effect on FFG, will take a bunch of cards from discard out into overdrive. Can add the focus if he wants, but I don't think he wants to. That one is not the best thing. The Lumen Stella, I think, already pushed Arakune. So, I mean, I guess can Vatista do 14 damage to Arakune? I mean, there's one card called Lateus Orbis, which is looking pretty good here. Lateus Orbis can, in theory, do like 10-ish damage here. Instead, we're going to see Jad boost. We're seeing boost the Curse Commandment into the face-up Lateus Orbis, or face-up Lumen Stella, excuse me. This is a very good play. This is almost assuredly going to work. And yeah, this is going to be an 8-power Lumen Stella coming to Poiman, who again just has to wild swing because he has no options left in his hand. Same old story that we heard earlier. That Lumen Stella was actually especially good because of course both dives were down and both Y2 dashes were down. Anyway, Arakune says, okay, let's roll the dice here. And what no, this is just hard throwing the game because now Jad just responds with Lateus Orbis and wins the game. This is okay. So the assault will go first. We'll hit for nothing, obviously, because out of range. That Armabellum will hit back for 5. Is that good enough? Just very, okay, I mean, this is This is kind of scuffed, but I guess we're just gonna roll with it. Sorry, I guess it is. Sorry, I don't want to sound too cynical or anything. I guess I guess it is late for me, so maybe this is why my true emotions are coming out. But Rebellum's not a decent. It's a pretty decent mod swing. We'll hit back for 5, I believe, after this assault. We'll hit for up to 5, actually. So Armabellum's before is apparently adding cards from hand to gauge. And yeah, of course, we'll have to discard an overdrive for that. Arakune will. We'll have a more consistent wild swing at least. FPs-wise, you need to seal that, because that will never hit in a world where Vatista strikes on her next turn. So you need to seal that and find something better. Yeah, Jad looks like they are considering what cards to put, if any, into the gauge. We'll drop the Assault, which is a curious choice, given that that's an on-curve option. We'll drop a Sweep, and we'll drop a Ruber Angelus. So this Armabellum will hit for 5. Vatista now gets to choose whether she wants range 2 or range 3. And we'll now, I will say range 3. We'll strike from hand. We'll strike with Sweep from hand, winning the game over Destroy Union. Obviously, this block is... The block would not have worked there. Because, I mean, that's a 6-power sweep, right? And Arakune has only 1 force to spend. Destroy Union will miss. And Vatista will... Jad, excuse me, will complete the reverse sweep on the Vatista. 3 different zoners beating Poiman's Arakune in pretty dominant fashion. I just felt like Poiman's Arakune it was the same story every single game, right? Where we just saw Poiman play really aggressively, spend a lot of resources to not do very much. This game actually spent resources to do a good amount, but then it was all in vain, unfortunately. As, I mean, just ran out of options in hand, right? But anyways, Jad takes set 3-2. Poiman drops to 0-3, but again, the tournament's over, so it doesn't even matter. See you guys for the next one.